Namaste, all of you. Here, your management coach, Dr. Sandhya Srivastava. Today, we are going to discuss on a topic that is Information Technology Act, which covers under the legal aspects of business. And this is one of the keen, important, and indispensable core area of aspects of business. So let's we will discuss and with the certain silent features and the what exactly IT Act 2000 is, what's are its objective. So let me discuss with the same. Let's move on. The contents which are going to be covered in this particular session, it's include with the definition, digital signature, electronic governance, attribution, acknowledgement and dispatch of electronic records, sense electronic records, and sense digital signatures. Also, the difference between both. Regulation of certifying authorities, digital signature certificate, duties of subscribers, penalties, and offenses. These are the certain contents which are going to be covered in this session and which is important as well as plays main and vital role to understand the IT Act 2000. So we will start. What exactly IT Act 2000 is? It's an enacted on 17th May 2000 when India is 12th nation in the world of adopt cyber laws. So it's really a very important and one of the fact that India was in 12th nation in the world to adopt cyber laws. And IT Act is based on model law on e-commerce adopted by UNICITL. So we will discuss here and start with the digital revolution internet infra in India. With the help of this diagrammatic representation, I just want to signify you that what are the matters and what are the certain services which are going to be involved to provide and which makes this digital revolution. So in which you can see the internet, mail services, DNS, every electronic devices we can say, and the computer system and the network, computer data, electronic records, security procedures, secure electronic record, everything is involved with this digital revolution internet infra in India. And I had given some examples for it also, like BSNL, Bharti, NIC, Tata Communication, and Reliance. So let's move on for further. What are the definition? What are the definitions of IT Act 2000? Under the section 2, it has been explained that what is computer as per the IT Act. Computer is an electronic device or magnetical optical, or we can see a high speed data processing device which are connected or related to the computer system or makes the computer network. Whereas network means the internet connection of one or more computer three. The use of satellite, microwave, terrestrial line or other communications media are also involved with the computer network. And we can also talk about the terminals or a complex consisting of two or more interconnected computers, whether or not in the interaction is continuously maintained in the computer network. Just move on with the computer system. What is computer system? It means a device like what is system actually. System is when two or more things are systemized in a particular way to perform something, when things are arranged or organized way to get it more output. So computer system when the output data, input, electronic instructions, and contain computer programs, everything, communication, control, and other function in a arithmetic data, storage data, and to put all these things together would be known as the computer system. Afterwards, the data, what does it mean? It means a representation of information, knowledge, facts, concepts, or instructions which are being prepared or have been prepared in a formalized manner and is intended to be processed. So this is Afterwards, let me also discuss electronic record. Basically, IT Act emphasizes on electronic record. It means date, record, or date generated, image, sound stored, received or sent in the electronic form. We are using, I will give you the example for it, via email and other sources. We are using lot many of sources. So we will first we understand what is electronic record as per the definitions given in the section 2 of IT Act 2000. So security, what is the meaning security? The security procedure prescribed by the central government under the IT Act 2000. Electronic record secure, what is this? Where any security procedure has been applied to an electronic record. So these are the certain definitions. So before starting this e-commerce, let me discuss you with the certain silent features of the act, which is one of the important. So let me discuss with the silent features of the Information Technology Act. It's not so we cannot say that it's in part of or the contents, but to understand the IT Act, it is important to know about the features. It would be, we can say, that extends to the whole of India. Section 1 may describe it is, and authorization, authentication of electronic records, it has been defined in section 3rd. Legal framework for affixing digital signature by use of asymmetric crypto system and hash function. Afterward, legal recognition of electronic records, legal recognition of digital signature, electronic record, publication of official gazette, licensing and regulation of certifying authorities, and functions of controller too. So all these features signified and with the explanation which start with the e-commerce. So what exactly e-commerce defines it? In e-commerce, let me discuss universal internet access, total internet economy, e-commerce expanding in 2004. It has been explained in this way. So I had explained you that what exactly it covers out, and the objective of the IT is concerned with it to provide legal recognition for transaction. So electronic commerce, its electronic commerce transactions over the internet includes what it includes: formation of contracts, delivery of information services, and delivery of contents. And the future of electronic commerce depends on the trust that the transacting parties place in the security of the transmission and content of their communications. That fulfills the objectives of the IT Act. What it is? It to facilitate electronic filling of documents with government agencies and e-payments. So that would be related with the electronic world too. So let's move on electronic world. Where electronic world, we can see, carried out by means of electronic data interchange and other means of electronic communication, commonly referred to as electronic commerce. And while to facilitate electronic filling of documents with government agencies and e-payments, that is the electronic world surrounding around us. And the functions involved with the declaration, proof of electronic documents carried out using a digital signature based on cryptography. So electronic world also explains about the digital signatures created and verified using cryptography, which I had explained you, with the help of public key and private key. Public key used to verify, and private key is for the digitally signature. Afterwards, let explain you the public key infrastructure. What the public key infrastructure explains. Public key basically is related with the governance body, the government party, which verify a particular document given by the private key. It allows parties to have free access to the signer's public key. This assures that the public key corresponds to the signer's private key. Trust between parties as if they know one another. So it's in public key infrastructure. Afterward, let's me talk about what is role of the government. Where is the government and what its key and vital role? What? Its government has to provide the definition, what? The structure of PKI. the number of levels of authority, which authorities are allowed to issue key pairs, to the extent to which the use of cryptography should be authorized for confidentiality purposes, whether the central authority should have access to the encrypted information, when and how. So, to amend the Indian Penal Code, the Indian Evidence Act 1872, the Bankers Books Evidence Act 1891, Reserve Bank of India Act 1934, all these are involved with the same. Let's me talk about here defines digital signature. It's what exactly the digital signature is. The authentication to be effected by use of symmetric crypto system and hash function. The private key and the public key are unique to the subscriber and constitute functioning key pair. So the verification of electronic record possible. Here, certificate based key management, what it is, operated by trusted third party who issue certifying authority, provides trading partners certificates, notarizes the relationship between a public key and its owner. And I explained you via diagrammatic representation. You can easily go through it, where I had explained that the certifying authority with the user A with the user B. Essential steps to be the digital signature process. So there are at least 10 steps. First, the signatory is authorized holder, unique key pair. The second, signatory prepares a data message. Third, message digest. Fourth, with the private key, what he did, the digital signature consists of an encrypted message digest. Fifth, what he did, the signatory typically attaches or appeals a digital signature to the message. Then it's forward, it's move on. Then in the sixth step, what the signatory sends this digital signature and the message to the relying party electronically. Moreover, in seventh step, the relying party uses the signatory's public key to verify the signatory's digital signature. Whereas in eighth, the relying party also creates a message digest of the message. In the ninth, where bit in the message has been altered after the message has been digitally signed, and it will be message digested created by the signatory. So in the 10th step, what it possibly additionally information digitally signed by the certification service provider. So what is the legal recognition of electronic records? When we talk about this, then what is the legal status? Because when we are doing something, it's very important to know about that it has a legal recognition or not. So if any information is required in printed or written form under any law, the information provided in electronic form which is accessible so as to be usable, it means it is legally verified and it has been done by the digital signature. It means it has been signed by a particular organization or the individual. So it has been proved and certified also. It has been explained in the section 5, 6 and 7 of Indian Information Technology Act 2000, where legal recognition of digital signature, use of electronic records, publication of rules and regulation, retention of electronic records, accessibility, their time spent, origin, destination, same format. So everything has been explained in the section 5, 6 and 7 of IT Act 2000. So we will start with the licensing certifying authorities. Who are the authorities? What are the persons? What they particularly do? So it has been defined in the section 21 of the IT Act and exercising supervision over their activities. The certifying the public keys of the certifying authorities, that is their digital signature certificates, more commonly known as public key certificates. Later on I will explain to you with the public key information also, PKIs. So these are the in section 21 where the licensing certifying authority, their rules, regulations, their eligibility has been defined. What is the licensing process? It is important because the government cannot issue this particular license to every individual, there should be a certain eligibility. So, and the process is, so what is this process? It's examining the application and accompanying documents as provided in section 21 to 24 of the Indian Information Technology Act and all the rules and regulations thereunder related to the certifying practice statements related to the CCA also. Whereas I just want to explain you about the audit process. What happens in the audit? First, security policies and implementation, physical security, CA operations, certifying authorities, administration, process, procedure. Then there is involvement of compliance, then contract and agreement, and whereas the controller from time to time guidelines issued by the IT Act. So certifying authorities, what they will do and what the procedure they are going to use it. It has been licensed certifying authorities. Yes. So let me discuss about it. Provide services to its subscribers and relying. So what is the procedure? First, identification and authentication. For what? To issue the certificate. Certificate issuance, suspension and revocation, that if you will not follow it, then it will be occurred, then it will be, because it is important to know the people that if they will not adhere or follow the instructions, rules, regulation, policies, what would be the next step by the government. Certificate renewal, notification of certificate related information, display of these on its website, and times stamping. Afterwards, I told you as that I will explain you with the PKI's hierarchy. Before PKI's hierarchy, I just want to explain you about the public key cryptography, PKI standards also. So it actually PKI standard involves with the public key cryptography, digital signature standards, directory services, PKCS family of standards, public key cryptography, and federal information processing standards. It's also involved with this particular. And afterwards, key size mandated by the CCA. So it would be like a 2048 bit RSA key, and the user should be the 1024 bit RSA key. And what is the licensed certifying authorities? As I explained you, that identification, authentication, and I explained you with the same. So we will talk about the PKI's hierarchy. It would be securing communication. CCA is in position where CCA with related to certifying authorities, and it would be directory of certifying CRLS, directory of certificates issued. Then there would be talk about the subscriber, one CA, second CA, and the third one, relying party and the subscriber over here. Secure digital signature. What are the certain steps which we have to understand, which is important also? Section 15, which is mentioned in the. So, if digital signatures are applied in such a manner that if ER was altered in digital signatures would be invalidated, then it is called secure digital signatures. Unique to subscriber and identify the subscribers. Regulations. Afterwards, the regulations of certifying authorities, which has been explained in chapter 4, which signifies about the certifying authorities, digital signature certificate, certifying authorities, controller of certifying authorities. As I explained you in this PKI also, that what are the control of certifying authority do with the certifying authority. There is a difference. You just don't be confused about the CCA and the CAs. CCA is controller of certifying authority, whereas CA is involved with the certifying authority. Right? Okay, just to move on. Yes, digital signature certificate, it has been explained in the chapter 7, which explains about very clearly that any person may make an application to the certifying authority for issue of digital signature certificate. and the certifying authority has to ensure that the subscriber person in whose name the digital signature is issued holds the private key. Authorized person. Otherwise, suspension and revoke of the digital signature certificate. Overview of relevant provision which has been explained, and I just want to share with you also. Section 16, which explains central government to prescribe the security procedure. Section 17 to 34, appointment and regulation of controller and certifying authority. What are their eligibility and what are the rules and regulations behind to appoint it. 35 to 39 explain about the obtaining digital signatures certificate. And 40 to 42, duties of subscribers of digital signature certificate exercise due care to retain the private key. So, and in section 12 I explained you also acknowledgement of the receipt. If originator has not specified particularly method, so any communication automated or otherwise conduct to indicate the receipt, where acknowledgement not received within time specified or with reasonable time, electronical as through never sent. Dispatch of electronic record, it is also important. So it has been explained in the section 13 how it can be sent it. Unless otherwise agreed dispatch occurs when ER electronic record enters resource outside the control of originator. So as in the starting we had explained and we understand what is computer system, data, and the many terms which we understand in the starting related to that what we are going to be understand about it, that what is computer network, what is computer system, what is data, what is electronic record, what is security procedure and secure electronic record. So these are the certain terms which we have to use it to dispatch a electronic record. Type 2 means types of cyber crimes. What is this? Types of cyber crimes means to protect these cyber crimes, precautions and the procedures is required to maintain and followed it. What kind of cyber crimes is? First, cyber terrorism, pornography, defamation, cyber stalking, sale of illegal article related to narcotics, online gambling, intellectual property. So these are the crimes. Crime against government, crime against persons, crime against property. For the individuals, forgery, phishing, credit card frauds. So these are the certain cyber crimes. So to take a precaution precautions are always better than cure. So to put it in the mind, the government has made certain rules, regulations and the procedure, and to follow that procedure is important to protect themselves from the cyber crimes which has been explained here. Afterward, the types of cyber crimes explained in a web hacking. First is hacking, information theft, emailing, blooming, salami attacks, denial of service attacks, Trojan attacks. So I had explained it. So please go through it. Computer related cyber crimes under the IPS and IPC and special laws. Section 503, 499, 463, 422. So these are the certain laws has been made by the IT Act 2000 and it should be adhered and followed by the individuals or the organization. And if they will feel that they are has been harassed or exploited by an individual or by the organization, they can just file the case under these IPC and special laws. Yes, the amendment in Indian Evidence Act 1872. This I just want to why I had taken a reference of this, because as I told you that the precautions are better than cure. So to put it in this, that in 1872 Indian Evidence Act, because there would be a requirement of evidence for any criminal and to prove that something is wrong. So for this amendment, Indian Information Technology Act 2000 has been passed out with certain rules, regulations and procedure to protect an individual or the organizations. So that's all for the today. If you have any query or the suggestion, please write it in comment box. Definitely I will give the answer for it. Thank you so much.